This is the all-new, completely redesigned MacBook Pro.
And yes, MagSafe is coming back.
First Pro chip designed for the Mac.
That's 1.7 times M1 Pro and 3.5 times M1.
Third generation of our most popular AirPods.
Now, if you ask Siri to put on a playlist for your dinner party, you'll hear the perfect selection. When you want to relax before bed, there's a playlist for winding down. And when you need that extra push to take you further on your next hike, you'll need the Weekend's Take My Breath, the voice plan. With this new plan, use only your voice and the power of Siri to access every song, every playlist, every station in Apple Music across all your Apple devices for just $4.99 a month. This plan will be available starting in 17 countries and regions. There's the individual plan, the family plan, and now the voice plan.
We infuse color into every element, from the beautiful mesh fabric to the tinted touch surface to details like the volume icons and woven cable. These new colors join white and space gray and will be available for just $99.
You can enjoy spatial audio with dynamic head tracking on AirPods Pro and AirPods Max across all of your devices, from iPhone to iPad to Apple TV and Mac. We are excited to announce the third generation of our most popular AirPods. These are the new AirPods with spatial audio, featuring all-new design inside and out, with a force sensor for more control of your music and phone calls. To deliver the best sound quality, we designed a brand new low-distortion driver created just for the new AirPods to provide powerful bass and crisp, clean, high frequencies. The next generation AirPods are sweat and water-resistant. New contour design that delivers sound directly to your ears. Adaptive EQ, a breakthrough feature in sound that we first made available with the AirPods Pro. Adaptive EQ provides the best audio experience customized for you in real time by adjusting frequencies in the sound to match what you are hearing to how it's supposed to be heard. With the one-touch setup that automatically pairs to all of your Apple devices, we increase the battery life for up to 6 hours of listening time. If you're in a hurry, 5 minutes of charge time gets you around an hour of use. The convenience of the charging case giving you an additional 4 full charges for up to 30 hours of total listening time. We added MagSafe and wireless charging to the case. These are the new AirPods, featuring spatial audio with dynamic head tracking, an all-new design, our custom-designed driver with adaptive EQ, all of this for $179. The next generation AirPods join the world's most popular family of headphones.
The first Pro chip designed for the Mac.
Now, building a Pro laptop has meant using a power-hungry CPU and discrete GPU. It also means the CPU and GPU have separate pools of memory, so they have to copy data back and forth over a slower interface. No one has ever applied a system-on-a-chip design to a Pro system until today. And we did this by scaling up M1's groundbreaking architecture to create a far more powerful chip with M1 Pro, 200 gigabytes per second of memory bandwidth, nearly 3 times M1, and its custom package supports up to 32 gigabytes of unified memory. The M1 Pro die is built using the industry-leading 5nm process technology and features a massive 33.7 billion transistors. That's more than twice M1, the 10-core CPU, with 8 high-performance cores and 2 high-efficiency cores, delivering up to 70% faster CPU performance than M1. 16 GPU cores, 8 more than M1. These additional cores, along with increased memory bandwidth, give M1 Pro up to 2 times faster graphics performance than M1. M1 Pro has our industry-leading media engine that accelerates video processing while using very little power, ProRes. Adding ProRes acceleration enables M1 Pro to play multiple streams of 4K and 8K ProRes video while using just a fraction of the power, like a powerful engine to drive multiple displays and additional Thunderbolt controllers to deliver even more I/O bandwidth and so much more. M1 Pro takes the amazing performance of Apple Silicon to a whole new level. M1 Max starts with a much higher bandwidth on-chip fabric and doubles the memory interface once again. This delivers up to 400 gigabytes per second of memory bandwidth. That's twice M1 Pro and 6 times M1, up to 64 gigabytes of unified memory. And its die has a staggering 57 billion transistors. That's 1.7 times M1 Pro and 3.5 times M1. It's the largest chip we've ever built by far. M1 Max has the same powerful 10-core CPU complex of M1 Pro and doubles the GPU to a massive 32 cores, giving M1 Max up to 4 times faster GPU performance than M1. And it has an even more capable media engine with up to 2 times faster video encoding and 2 ProRes accelerators, industry-leading performance per watt. M1 is a breakthrough. When you look at its multi-core CPU performance versus power curve, it continues to crush the latest 4-core PC laptop chip. And when you add an M1 Pro and M1 Max, they deliver dramatically more performance. Here is the latest 8-core PC laptop chip. At their peak, they deliver 1.7 times the performance of the PC chip in the same power envelope. And at the peak performance of the PC chip, they deliver the same performance at 70% less power. Now here's the GPU performance versus power curve of M1. And here's the integrated graphics in that 8-core PC laptop chip. M1 easily outperforms it while using significantly less power. So when we add an M1 Pro, it's in a whole different class. At its peak, it's more than 7 times faster. So here is a PC laptop with a powerful discrete GPU. M1 Pro delivers more performance while using 70% less power. There are compact Pro laptops that have higher performing, yet very power-hungry discrete GPUs. They deliver strong performance, but they consume a ton of power. It delivers comparable performance while using 40% less power. Now let's compare M1 Max to the chip running in the fastest PC laptop we could find. That is much bigger and heavier than a compact Pro laptop. It delivers even faster graphics performance, but it also consumes a massive amount of power. M1 Max delivers similar performance while using 100 watts less power. This is unheard of. M1 Max performance is outstanding, plugged in or using the battery. If you look at the compact Pro laptop on battery, its graphics performance drops significantly. M1 Max is up to 2.5 times faster. And if you look at the high-end laptop when it's on battery, the drop-off in graphics performance is even more extreme. M1 Max is over 3 times faster. Most capable chip we've ever built. It's the world's most powerful chip for a Pro notebook.
3.5 times the transistor count, 4 times the unified memory, and 6 times the memory bandwidth of the M1.
It's like a racing car.
The increased performance of these new Pro chips mean you can make more complex scenes, bigger games, better games, all on your laptop.
Launching Premiere Pro feels super snappy, like scene edit detection, and that's up to 5 times faster now.
There's never been a GPU with 64 gigs ever in a notebook, and it changes our entire workflow. For example, that 100 gigabyte Starship Enterprise, loading it all into memory, slicing through it, seeing every detail of that, it just hasn't been possible in any other piece of hardware. I'd say they're life-changing. Whoa.
A 16-inch model, and for the first time, a compact yet immensely powerful 14-inch model. The all-new aluminum enclosure optimizes internal space for more performance and features. And it is precisely machined around an advanced thermal system. It can move 50% more air even at lower fan speeds. And it's all in a design that's just 16.8 millimeters thin and 4.7 pounds on the 16-inch model, and just 15.5 millimeters thin and 3.5 pounds on the 14-inch model.
Users value the full-height function row on the standalone Magic Keyboard, and we've brought it to the MacBook Pro. The physical keys replace the touch bar. The keyboard is set in a double anodized black weld, industry-leading Force Touch trackpad. On one side, there's an HDMI port, a Thunderbolt 4 port, and an SD card slot. On the other side, the headphone jack now has advanced support for high-impedance headphones. And there are 2 more Thunderbolt 4 ports. And yes, MagSafe is coming back. MagSafe 3 has a new design that supports more power into the system, and you can still charge via the Thunderbolt ports. M1 Pro Pro, you can connect up to 2 Pro Display XDRs. And with M1 Max, you can connect up to 3 Pro Display XDRs and a 4K TV all at the same time. That's over 75 million pixels of screen real estate. And you still have ports available, all without a single adapter.
Bringing the sides of the enclosure closer to the active area of the display, resulting in a 24% thinner border. We also expanded the display up and around the camera, making the top border 60% thinner. And macOS takes full advantage of this extra space by raising the menu bar up and out of the way, automatically wrapping it around the camera. And it looks great in dark mode. The 16-inch model has a 16.2-inch display. It has 1.8 million more pixels than before, 7.7 million. That's the most ever in a Mac notebook. The 14-inch model has an expansive 14.2-inch active area and a total of 5.9 million pixels. That's even more pixels than the previous generation 16-inch MacBook Pro. ProMotion technology to the Mac. With refresh rates up to 120 Hz, the display now supports 1 billion colors, liquid retina XDR display, and it features the mini LED technology used in iPad Pro, which we've built into the impossibly thin display enclosure of the new MacBook Pro. 1000 nits of sustained full screen brightness, 1600 nits of peak brightness, and a staggering 1,000,000:1 contrast ratio. The world's best notebook display.
So we've doubled the resolution of the camera to 1080p and used a lens with a wider aperture that lets in more light. Together with a larger image sensor that has more efficient pixels, the camera delivers 2 times better low-light performance, computational video, which enhances video quality. The best camera system ever in a Mac notebook. We made our industry-leading studio-quality mics even better with an up to 60% lower noise floor, 6-speaker sound system that features 2 tweeters and 4 force-canceling woofers. The tweeters are nearly 2 times larger. The woofer diaphragms are also larger and have an increased range of motion, so they can now displace twice as much air. This allows them to deliver 80% more bass. And we've brought this sensational 6-speaker sound system to the 14-inch Pro as well. With studio quality mics and a spectacular 6-speaker sound system with spatial audio, there's never been an audio system this good in a notebook.
The 16-inch model with M1 Pro and M1 Max has up to 2 times faster CPU performance than the previous generation with the Core i9. And when it comes to graphics, M1 Pro is up to 2.5 times faster than the prior 16-inch model with the fastest GPU. And M1 Max is up to 4 times faster. And when it comes to machine learning, you'll get up to 5 times faster performance. Compared to the 13-inch model with a Core i7, the 14-inch Pro has up to 3.7 times faster CPU performance. For graphics, M1 Pro delivers up to 9 times faster performance, and M1 Max is up to an astonishing 13 times faster, and ML tasks are up to 11 times faster. Even the latest Pro PC laptops top out at 16 gigs of video memory. MacBook Pro has up to 64 gigabytes of unified memory, and with the enhanced media engine on M1 Max, you can edit up to 30 streams of 4K ProRes video in Final Cut Pro, or up to 7 streams of 8K ProRes. That's more streams than on a 28-core Mac Pro, 7.4 gigabytes per second of read speeds, more than 2 times faster than the prior gen SSDs. The most powerful Mac notebooks ever. Photographers who go from capture to publish on the go will get up to 2 times longer battery life in Lightroom Classic when editing images. And developers working in Xcode will be able to compile 4 times as much code. The 14-inch model delivers up to 17 hours of video playback, which is 7 additional hours. And the 16-inch model gets up to 21 hours of video playback, which is 10 additional hours and the longest battery life ever on a Mac notebook. And the new MacBook Pro now supports fast charge for the very first time on Mac, so it can charge up to 50% in just 30 minutes.
We couldn't be more excited about what this groundbreaking system can do. When you compare the 14-inch model to the previous high-end 13-inch MacBook Pro, you get a giant leap in performance, all for $1999. And when you compare the new 16-inch Pro to the previous model, you also get a massive boost in performance and capabilities for $24.99. Both models are available in silver and space gray. The new MacBook Pro joins the 13-inch Pro with M1 to create the strongest lineup of Pro notebooks we've ever offered. And with this introduction, we've taken another another huge step forward in the Mac's transition to Apple Silicon.
Thank you for joining us today. Please take care, stay safe, and have a great day.